Get your antifreeze. We're going to have at least 2 days of very, very cold weather.
From the very start, KOMO has answered a question we all have every day. What's the weather going to be like? The answer came from forecasters who felt like family, from Ray Ramsey to Steve Poole.
Everybody starts clouding up and cooling down a little bit.
And KOMO's chief meteorologist today, Shannon O'Donnell.
Even though we're known for it being kind of gray and pretty mild around here, definitely get some interesting weather from time to time.
That interesting weather? That's the city stopping severe weather.
Oh, no!
Ice-coated hills, punishing winds, and school-canceling snow. KOMO was on the air in 1955 when Western Washington endured damaging flooding.
Here near Mount Vernon, dikes gave way under pressures from the rain-swollen stretches.
On the heels of those floods, snow-coated Seattle, and KOMO's Keith Jackson made it feel charming.
In November, the stooped, hoary figure of Old Man Winter cupped gnarled, stiff fingers to his lips, then exhaled an angry stream of polar breath that chilled the Northwest from British Columbia to Oregon.
The very first tornado ever recorded in Seattle was in 1962.
What you see here is the result of a meteorological rarity in the Northwest, a genuine tornado.
KOMO was on the scene then.
And one youngster was literally flung off his bicycle. But the worst was yet to come.
And just a couple weeks later,
on Lake Washington, absolute havoc.
October 12th, Columbus Day.
Mounting reports of death, injury, and almost unbelievable property damage.
A windstorm so strong, it's remembered as the most powerful to hit the Pacific Northwest in all of the 20th century.
A possible tornado moving through Port Orchard.
Today, when severe weather hits like the EF2 Port Orchard tornado in 2018.
What was this like?
It was really traumatic.
KOMO goes wall to wall, staying on the air for hours at a time. Former producer Ethan Morris calls those long stretches of breaking news both liberating and terrifying. There are no scripts, and there can be no dead air.
And you say, April, we're coming to you live in 10 seconds, and then Dan's talking right now about whatever, and you say to Kathy, when Dan finishes talking, I want you to pitch to April, and James, I want you to cut to Kathy as soon as Dan's finished talking, and then April, here we come, and you're on.
It was this historic snowstorm in 1996 that got reporter Joe Furia his job. His wife, Sabrina Register, was anchoring and called him at home.
And she said, a lot of reporters can't make it in, and so if you can make it here, they're going to put you on air. So I got in the car, made it down to the station, and they put me on the roof of the station. Now, the weather has really made things tough on emergency crews all around this area, in Seattle and in the outlying areas. And I started working.
And a deep freeze gripping Western Washington right now.
And who could forget last year's December 23rd ice storm? Holiday travel was at a standstill, and skating was the only reliable way to get around. Our own Kelly Koopmans couldn't drive or even walk out of her neighborhood to get to the morning show.
So I lower myself on all fours in the middle of the road and slowly and shamefully crawl across the road.
She was 5 months pregnant and had to inch her way 3/4 of a mile to a place where a photographer could pick her up.
Is this really happening in this moment? And what extent will I go to get to work?
She made it to the studio with just a couple minutes to spare. That same morning, Barnett Parker needed to get to his job on our assignment desk.
So I took about 10 steps just teetering along and realized I'm going to have to get down on my butt and scooch along here.
Barnett scooched along for half a mile, and he wasn't even late.
It's my job to get here and get things going and to deal with the coverage. It's a bad storm, so we're going to cover this. We need everybody.
From avalanche danger in the mountains to salmon crossing flooded roads in the valleys, you hear about the weather from KOMO forecasters who feel like family.
It is your job, it's your duty to share this information with people, keep them safe. So it's something we take seriously and something we want to deliver to our viewers.
Family takes care of one another. Molly Shen, KOMO News.